The starlight flickered across the metallic surface of Epsilon 7 research station, casting long shadows over the barren rocky landscape. June Park's fingers hovered above the monitoring console, tracing the unusual energy signature that had just appeared on his screens. Something was falling from the sky. Not a meteor. Not a standard spacecraft. Something different. The object pierced the atmosphere with a sound between a scream and a whistle, leaving a trail of emerald green plasma in its wake. Station protocols demanded immediate defensive measures, but June hesitated. His intuition told him this was no ordinary threat. Hana Kim burst through the control room doors, her medical kit clutched tightly. "Are you seeing this?" she asked, her voice a mixture of scientific curiosity and growing tension. The crash was spectacular and violent. Where the object struck the planet's surface, it created a massive crater that sent rocks and dust spiraling into the thin atmosphere. Emergency sensors blared warning signals across every screen. "Quarantine protocols," June muttered, his hands moving swiftly across the control panel. But no immediate weapons activation. Dust settled. Silence descended. For several minutes, nothing moved. The research team watched, breath held, as their long-range thermal scanners began picking up an unusual heat signature from within the crater. Something was alive in there. "Life signs?" Hana whispered. June adjusted the scanners. The readings were unlike anything they had ever encountered. Complex biological patterns danced across the screen. Not human, not any known alien species in their extensive database. A faint pulsing light emerged from the crater's center. Soft, rhythmic, almost breathing. "We need to investigate," June decided, grabbing the emergency environmental suit. Hana was already preparing her medical equipment, her hands moving with practiced efficiency. The surface of Epsilon 7 was harsh, rocky terrain, minimal atmosphere. Temperatures that could freeze exposed skin in minutes. Their suits would protect them, but only for a limited time. As they approached the crater, the pulsing light grew more intense. Something massive shifted within the shadows. Not threatening, just present. Hana's medical scanner began picking up extraordinary readings. Complex cellular structures, multiple interconnected biological systems that defied standard xenobiological classifications. Whatever was in that crater was alive, injured, and unlike anything humanity had ever documented. "We can't leave it," she said quietly. June understood immediately. Their scientific duty wasn't just about observation, it was about understanding, preservation, compassion. The creature, for lack of a better term, was massive. Crystalline structures seemed to flow across its body like living liquid. Wounds decorated its surface, each one telling a story of some incredible battle or journey through unknown regions of space. "It's communicating," Hana realized, watching the bioluminescent patterns shifting across its surface. Not with sound, not with traditional signals, but with light and energy. Their first contact would change everything. The station's communication systems would soon be flooded with messages from the Galactic Confederation. Warnings, demands, protocols about unknown entities. But right now, in this moment, it was just June, Hana, and a wounded entity from somewhere beyond their comprehension. "We're going to help you," June said softly, not expecting a response but feeling the need to speak anyway. The creature's light pulsed, almost like an acknowledgement. First contact wasn't about weapons or defense, it was about understanding. About seeing something unknown and choosing curiosity over fear. And in that moment, on a remote research station orbiting a forgotten planet, humanity would prove once again why they were different. The medical bay of Epsilon 7 hummed with soft, electronic sounds. Specialized containment fields shimmered around the alien creature, protecting both the patient and the research team. June and Hana worked methodically, their movements careful and precise. Initial scans revealed something extraordinary. The creature's biology was nothing like they had ever seen. Its cellular structure seemed to flow and change, adapting to the environment with remarkable speed. Where a human would have fatal wounds, this being showed signs of rapid regeneration. Look at these energy patterns, Hana muttered, adjusting the holographic display. Waves of soft blue and green light danced across the medical screens, representing complex biological processes that defied traditional understanding. June leaned closer. The creature, which they had unofficially named Kiro, wasn't just healing, it was communicating. Each pulse of light seemed to carry information, like a language written in living energy. "We're missing something," he said quietly. Their communication attempts had been basic. Simple mathematical sequences, visual patterns, but something deeper was happening. The creature's responses weren't just reactions. They were deliberate. A sudden shift in the containment field caught their attention. Kiro's crystalline surface began to change, developing intricate patterns that looked almost like writing. Not human writing, not any known alien script. Something entirely new. Hana's translation software struggled. Fragments of meaning emerged. Broken pieces of a story that hinted at something massive. A journey, a conflict, a desperate escape. "It's telling us about what happened," she realized. The story came in bursts of light and energy. A scientific expedition. A peaceful mission of exploration. Then, violence. Something hunting them, destroying everything in its path. Cairo was the last survivor. Medical instruments continued their steady monitoring. Heart rate, if you could call it that, remained stable. Cellular regeneration continued at an impossible rate. The being was healing itself, using energy in ways human science couldn't fully comprehend. "We can't report this through standard channels," June warned. "The Galactic Confederation would see this as a threat, an unknown entity with capabilities beyond current understanding." Hana nodded. They both knew the risks. Water samples, blood tests, cellular analysis. Each examination revealed new mysteries. Kiro's biology suggested a level of technological integration that blurred lines between living organism and advanced machine. A soft pulse of light. A response. "Are you in pain?" Hana asked, knowing the question might be meaningless. The creature's energy patterns shifted. Not quite an answer, more like acknowledgement. Outside the medical bay, station protocols continued. Routine checks, communication logs. But inside, something extraordinary was happening. First contact wasn't just about meeting a new species. It was about understanding a completely different form of existence. June reviewed the data streams. Complex mathematical equations seemed to flow from Kiro's cellular structure. Not random, purposeful. Like a complex language waiting to be decoded. "We need more time," he whispered. Hours passed. The research team worked in careful shifts, monitoring, observing, learning. Kiro remained stable, communicative, waiting. The real challenge would come later. How do you explain to a universe built on fear that something unknown isn't automatically a threat? How do you protect a being that represents everything humanity doesn't yet understand? Night fell outside, the station's protective dome. Artificial lights maintained their steady glow. And in the medical bay, a wounded traveler from somewhere beyond human imagination continued its slow, careful healing. Something significant was about to change. The communication channels erupted with tension. Diplomatic messages flooded the station's communication systems, each more demanding than the last. Multiple alien confederations wanted immediate action against the unknown entity they called a potential galactic threat. Wu Xiok, the station's diplomatic liaison, stood pale but determined. His fingers traced the incoming messages, each one a potential death sentence for Kiro. Neutralization protocol activated, read one cold message from the Stellar Confederation. Council June and Hana knew what that meant. Destruction. Elimination of anything deemed unpredictable or potentially dangerous. "We're not losing Kiro," Hana whispered, her hand unconsciously touching the protective containment field. Their plan was risky, complex, requiring precision and absolute secrecy. They would need to move the alien without detection, using the station's limited resources and their own ingenuity. The research vessel, Horizon, sat in the secondary docking bay. Normally used for short-range planetary surveys, it would now become their escape route. Modifications began immediately. Stealth systems were enhanced, communication bafflers installed. Every possible tracking mechanism would be disrupted. Wu Seok became their unexpected ally. His diplomatic credentials provided a crucial layer of protection. He began creating complex communication trails, deliberate misinformation that would slow down any pursuit. "I'll give you a 12-hour window," he told June and Hana. "After that, they'll know something's wrong." Kiro remained in the medical bay, its crystalline body pulsing with soft light. Whether it understood the danger or was simply healing remained unclear. But there was an intelligence in those energy patterns, a waiting. Preparation was meticulous, medical equipment carefully packed, research data encrypted. Every trace of Kiro's existence would be carefully hidden. The first challenge came unexpectedly. A routine inspection team arrived, their scanning equipment probing every corner of the station. June's heart raced. One wrong move could reveal everything. Hana's medical expertise became their shield. She created elaborate holographic projections, showing standard medical research. Nothing to suggest an alien entity of extraordinary capabilities. Hours ticked by. Tension grew. Outside the station, space remained vast and silent. But beneath that silence, a complex game of survival was being played. Wu Seok's diplomatic communications became a masterpiece of misdirection. Reports were filed, bureaucratic language twisted and turned, each message designed to create confusion, to buy time. The Horizon waited, its systems prepared for an emergency launch. Fuel cells charged, navigation systems checked and rechecked. Kiro seemed to understand something was happening. Its energy patterns became more focused, more alert. "We're going to get you out," June whispered, not sure if communication was possible, but feeling the need to speak. The inspection team finished their routine check. Minutes felt like hours. One wrong scan, one unexpected signal could destroy everything. But nothing happened. As artificial night fell across the station, the rescue plan moved into its final stages. Specialized containment units were prepared. Kiro would be transported carefully, its unique biological structure protected from any potential damage. Wu Seok's final message came through, a complex encryption that would delay any immediate pursuit. "You have a 6-hour window," it read. "Use it wisely." The station's normal rhythms continued. Shift changes, routine communications, nothing to suggest the extraordinary events about to unfold. June looked at Hana. She nodded. They were ready. Kiro pulsed, a soft light that seemed to say more than words ever could. Rescue was moments away. The universe was about to change. The Horizon hummed with quiet energy. Specialized containment chambers glowed softly, protecting Kiro during transport. June's hands moved across navigation controls with practiced precision, calculating escape routes through the most complex star systems. Confederation tracking systems would be searching. Every moment counted. Hana monitored Kiro's biological readings. The alien's crystalline body pulsed with soft light, almost like a heartbeat. Complex energy patterns suggested awareness, understanding. "Stealth systems engaged," June muttered. Outside the vessel, space stretched endless and dark. Distant stars watched silently as their small ship prepared to vanish. The first pursuit signal came faster than expected. Sharp, precise. A Confederation warship had detected their initial launch vector. Proximity alerts screamed across the control panels. "Evasive maneuvers," Hana said, her voice calm. June's fingers danced across complex navigation systems. The Horizon wasn't designed for combat. It was a research vessel. But today, it would become something more. Radiation signatures masked, energy emissions randomized. They would become a ghost in the cosmic darkness. The Confederation warship approached, massive, dangerous, equipped with technology that could slice their small vessel. Apart in seconds, Kiro's energy patterns changed. No longer passive, something was happening. Sophisticated jamming signals began emerging from the containment chamber. Not human-designed, something entirely different. The alien was helping them. It's disrupting their tracking systems, June realized. Hana watched, in amazement. Kiro wasn't just a passenger, it was a participant in their escape. Sudden quantum shifts in their navigation created impossible movement patterns. The warship's targeting systems became confused. Multiple ghost signatures appeared, splitting their potential pursuit vectors. One moment they were here, the next, somewhere completely unexpected. Space folded, twisted, reformed. The Confederation vessel's commander would later describe it as impossible. A research vessel performing maneuvers that defied known physics. But June and Hana knew the truth. They had Kiro. Hours passed. Tension remained high. Every sensor watched. Every system prepared for potential detection. Wusiok's final encrypted message played repeatedly. Diplomatic cover. Misdirection. Complex layers of protection they had carefully constructed. Kiro continued pulsing, communicating in ways humans were just beginning to understand. "We're safe," June whispered. The universe remained vast, mysterious, full of unknown possibilities. Their destination was a neutral scientific sanctuary, a place where Kiro could be studied, protected, understood. No weapons, no threats, just pure scientific curiosity. Confederation pursuit signals gradually faded. Their complex evasion techniques had worked. For now, Hana checked Kiro's containment chamber. The alien's crystalline structure seemed stronger, more stable, as if the escape itself had triggered some internal healing process. "Remarkable," she muttered. Navigation systems showed they were entering a complex star cluster. Radiation levels fluctuated, perfect for continued concealment. June allowed himself a small smile. They had done it. Kiro pulsed, a soft light that seemed to say, "Thank you." The horizon continued its journey. A small vessel carrying a massive secret, protecting something the universe wasn't ready to understand. The sanctuary emerged from cosmic mist like a dream. Massive research rings orbited a central crystalline structure, designed to study the most complex and mysterious life forms in the known universe. June and Hana approached carefully, their small vessel now carrying the most significant scientific discovery in decades. Kiro's energy patterns had become more stable during their journey, no longer just surviving, but actively communicating, sharing, revealing glimpses of a history far more complex than anyone could have imagined. Sanctuary protocols activated, specialized containment fields extended, preparing to receive their extraordinary passenger. "Incoming vessel. Identification required," a neutral voice announced. Wusiok's carefully prepared documentation worked perfectly. Research credentials, diplomatic clearance, layers of protection they had constructed during their escape. The sanctuary was different from typical research stations. Here, science meant understanding, not destruction, not fear. Kairo's containment chamber began interfacing with sanctuary systems. Complex data streams flowed, mathematical sequences, biological patterns, information that would take years to fully comprehend. Preliminary scans suggest technological integration beyond current understanding, a sanctuary scientist noted, reviewing initial data. Hana watched closely. Kiro wasn't just a specimen. It was a living library of cosmic knowledge. The sanctuary's primary research director, a veteran xenobiologist named Dr. Elena Rodriguez, personally welcomed them. Her eyes held something rare in scientific circles. Pure curiosity without fear. "What we have here is extraordinary," she told June and Hana during their initial briefing. Kiro's cellular structure suggested a civilization thousands of years more advanced than human technology, not just a species, an entire living technological ecosystem. Preliminary translations of Kiro's communication patterns revealed fragments of a larger story, a scientific mission, a civilization dedicated to exploration and understanding. Then, Sudden, violent interruption. Someone hunted them, June realized. Systematically. The sanctuary became a hub of intense research. Every system, every scanner focused on understanding their extraordinary guest. Kiro continued healing, adapting, sharing information in ways humans were just beginning to comprehend. Diplomatic channels buzzed with tension. The Galactic Confederation wanted answers, explanations, but the sanctuary remained neutral ground. "We protect scientific discovery," Dr. Rodriguez would later state, "not political agendas." Weeks passed. Months. Kiro's presence transformed human understanding of biology, technology, and communication. The aliens' energy patterns suggested a form of consciousness that blurred lines between living organism and advanced technological system. Not machine, not purely biological. Something entirely new. Hana developed specialized translation interfaces. Slowly, carefully, they began understanding more. Kiro's original mission had been peaceful. A complex scientific expedition exploring quantum communication methods across different galactic regions. Then something had gone terribly wrong. A predatory species, Kiro communicated through intricate light patterns. Destroying knowledge, eliminating potential technological threats. The sanctuary became more than a research station. It became a sanctuary in the truest sense. Protection, understanding, a place where something extraordinary could survive and share its knowledge. Human scientific teams worked around the clock. Every discovered detail changed previous understanding of potential life forms. June understood they had done more than rescue an alien. They had preserved an entire living repository of cosmic knowledge. As months turned into years, Kiro's presence would become legendary, a turning point in human scientific exploration. Not a beast, not a threat, a survivor, a messenger, a bridge between known and unknown. The universe suddenly seemed larger, more complex, full of possibilities humans had never imagined, and it all started with a simple choice: